If you're tired of green tea or you want an option that targets the deep belly fat you can't pinch, try one of these 7 overnight drinks I recommend to patients. Visceral fat, the fat wrapped around your organs, is not just a cosmetic problem. It's metabolically active, pumps out inflammatory chemicals, worsens insulin resistance, and is strongly linked to diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and fatty liver. Over 3 decades as a geriatric physician, I've watched how small, consistent habits at night can help the body's repair cycles work better. Green tea is useful, but it isn't the only tool. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 teas that can support the liver, modulate hormones, aid digestion, and gently shift metabolism when used thoughtfully at night. For each one, I'll describe the taste, the biology, exact preparation steps, timing, what to expect, and the safety checks you must know. I've seen older adults in their 50s, 60s, and 70s who struggle with stubborn visceral fat, diabetes, hypertension, and waking bloating. Some saw modest waist changes over months when they combined dietary changes, movement, and a consistent nighttime routine that included targeted herbal drinks. These are not miracles. They are supportive measures that respect aging physiology, inflammation aging, slower insulin sensitivity, and reduced overnight detox capacity. You'll learn not only what to sip, but how to rotate these drinks, when to take them relative to sleep, and exactly when to call your clinician. If this content is helpful, tap like and subscribe for more practical, evidence-minded health tips. Now let's move through the 7 teas. For each one, I'll follow the same format: a short sensory note, the mechanism in plain language, precise preparation, the non-scale benefits you might notice, an explicit safety caution, and how often I use it with patients. Turmeric plus black pepper, warm, golden, mildly peppery. Mechanism: turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that has anti-inflammatory effects and can improve insulin sensitivity in some people. Curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. Black pepper contains piperine, which boosts curcumin absorption substantially. Reducing inflammation and improving insulin signaling can help the metabolic environment that allows visceral fat to gradually respond to lifestyle changes. How to prepare? Use 1 teaspoon, about 2 to 3 grams, of high-quality ground turmeric or 1 tablespoon freshly grated turmeric root. Simmer in 12 to 16 ounces, 350–475 ml of water for 5 to 10 minutes. A gentle simmer extracts curcuminoids better than a quick steep. Add a pinch, 1 to 8 teaspoon, of freshly cracked black pepper and stir in about 1 teaspoon of healthy fat. For example, a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil or a splash of whole milk or a teaspoon of coconut oil to further aid absorption. Sweeten lightly if needed. Let it cool to drinking temperature and have it roughly 40 to 60 minutes before bed. Key benefits to expect: reduced nighttime joint stiffness, less waking stiffness, improved sense of reduced inflammation, maybe less bloating over time. Some patients report steadier morning blood sugars when turmeric is part of their evening routine. Caution: if you take anticoagulants, warfarin, direct oral anticoagulants, or have a bleeding tendency, consult your physician before using turmeric regularly. Turmeric can increase bleeding risk in combination with anticoagulant drugs. Suggested frequency and rotation: 3 to 4 times per week as part of a rotation. I typically recommend alternating turmeric nights with other anti-inflammatory or liver-supportive teas, so you're not using one remedy every night. Hibiscus, bright ruby red, tart and fruity mechanism. Hibiscus is rich in anthocyanins and flavonoids that can have a mild thermogenic effect, support vascular tone, and help lower blood pressure in some people. It also has a mild diuretic effect, which can reduce nighttime fluid retention and abdominal bloating. Taken earlier in the evening, it can support blood pressure control and reduce fluid burden that sometimes mimics abdominal girth. How to prepare? Use 1 to 2 teaspoons or 1 heaping tablespoon of dried hibiscus petals in 8 to 12 ounces, 240-350 ml of boiling water. Steep for 5 to 10 minutes, then strain. Because of its diuretic effect, have hibiscus at least 1.5 to 2 hours before bedtime to avoid waking at night to urinate. Key benefits to expect: reduced evening bloating, lighter feeling in the abdomen, a slightly lower blood pressure over weeks when combined with lifestyle changes, and a pleasant ritual that many patients enjoy. Caution: if you take antihypertensive medications, check with your physician before starting regular hibiscus. It can lower blood pressure and may potentiate prescription drugs. Suggested frequency and rotation: 2 to 4 times per week, preferably earlier in the evening rather than immediately before bed. Sage, earthy, slightly camphoraceous, calming. Mechanism: sage contains rosmarinic acid and other compounds that can modulate stress hormones and support sleep onset in some people. Lowering nighttime cortisol and improving sleep architecture matters because chronic elevation of cortisol is linked to visceral fat accumulation. Sage can gently calm the nervous system, supporting the body's repair and hormonal balance overnight. How to prepare: use 1 teaspoon of dried sage leaves or 1 tablespoon fresh chopped leaves in about 8-10 ounces, 240-300 ml of water. Pour water just off the boil, about 200 degrees or 93 degrees, over the leaves and steep for 5 to 7 minutes to preserve volatile compounds. Drink about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Key benefits to expect: calmer mind at bedtime, easier sleep onset, less nighttime restlessness, and a reduction in perceived stress that can translate into better metabolic control over time. Caution: if you take medications that lower blood pressure, discuss sage with your clinician. It can have a mild hypertensive effect in some people. Suggested frequency and rotation: 3 to 5 times per week, especially on nights when stress or poor sleep is a concern. Ginger plus lemon, fresh, spicy and bright. Mechanism: fresh ginger is a digestive prokinetic. It speeds gastric emptying and reduces bloating and nausea. Lemon adds pectin and acidity that can modestly slow carbohydrate absorption and reduce post-meal glycemic spikes. Together, taken in the evening, they can improve late digestion and reduce the chance that undigested carbohydrates disturb overnight metabolism. How to prepare: slice 1-2 inches, 2 to 4 centimeters of fresh ginger, about 10-15 grams, and simmer in 12 ounces, 350 milliliters of water for 8 to 10 minutes. Remove from heat and add the juice of half a lemon. Do this off the heat to preserve vitamin C. Strain and drink 30 to 60 minutes after a light evening meal. If you eat late, take it about 60 minutes before bed. Key benefits to expect: less heartburn or reflux-related bloating for some people, reduced nighttime fullness, smoother digestion, and a cleaner sensation in the morning. Caution: if you have gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, or a history of reflux symptoms, ginger and lemon can aggravate symptoms in some people. Proceed cautiously and consult your clinician if reflux worsens. Suggested frequency and rotation: 2-4 times per week, or on nights when you have an evening meal that tends to sit heavy. Horsetail, equisetum, light straw-colored mineral note. Mechanism: horsetail is rich in silica and contains potassium. It has diuretic properties that can help eliminate excess fluid and support kidney elimination processes. For some older adults, supporting renal clearance of excess sodium and fluid can relieve abdominal fullness and improve metabolic signaling. Horsetail can also supply minerals important for connective tissue, which some patients find helpful for joint stiffness. How to prepare: because horsetail is a woodier herb, prepare a decoction. Use 1 tablespoon of dried horsetail in 12 to 16 ounces, 350-475 ml of water. Bring to a gentle boil for 5 minutes, then simmer for another 5 to 10 minutes, and strain. Have it at least 1.5 to 2 hours before bedtime to avoid nocturia. Key benefits to expect: reduced water retention, lighter legs and abdomen the next morning, and a sense of improved elimination. Some patients notice less evening puffiness. Caution: horsetail is a strong diuretic and can interact with prescription diuretics, increase the risk of potassium depletion, and may interact with digoxin or other heart medications. Do not use horsetail long-term without medical supervision. Avoid if you have significant kidney disease. Suggested frequency and rotation. Short courses only. I recommend using horsetail intermittently, for example, 3 to 5 consecutive nights, followed by at least 1 week off, or no more than 2 to 3 times per month in rotation with other teas. Cinnamon, Ceylon, warm, sweet-spiced, woody. Mechanism: true Ceylon cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde and other compounds that can improve insulin sensitivity and slow carbohydrate absorption. This can reduce nocturnal glucose variability and the insulin spikes that promote fat storage, particularly around the abdomen. How to prepare: use 1 Ceylon cinnamon stick, not cassia, which has much higher coumarin content, in 12 to 16 ounces, 350-475 ml of water. Simmer gently for 10 minutes to extract the aromatic oils, then strain. You can add a splash of milk or a small fat if you prefer. Drink 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Key benefits to expect: smoother nighttime blood sugars for those with insulin resistance, less midnight hunger, and a comforting bedtime ritual that may reduce sweet cravings. Caution: if you take blood sugar-lowering medications, insulin, sulfonylureas, SGLT2 inhibitors, etc., monitor blood glucose closely. Cinnamon can enhance glucose-lowering effects and increase the risk of hypoglycemia. Suggested frequency and rotation: 3 to 5 times per week. Use true Ceylon cinnamon sticks, not mass-market cassia powder. Dandelion, root or leaf, earthy, slightly bitter, golden brown. Mechanism: dandelion supports bile flow and liver function. The root is more cholagogic, helping the liver process fats and clear metabolic byproducts overnight. Improved bile flow aids digestion of fats and can support the liver's detox processes, which are most active during periods of rest. Dandelion leaf has diuretic effects and can support mild fluid elimination. How to prepare: for hepatic support, use dandelion root. Simmer 1 tablespoon of dried dandelion root in 12 to 16 ounces, 350-475 ml of water for 10 minutes, then strain. For a lighter diuretic effect, steep 1 to 2 teaspoons of dandelion leaf in hot water for 5 to 7 minutes. Take dandelion root about 60-90 minutes before bed so it can support liver processes early in the overnight fast. Key benefits to expect: less evening heaviness after fatty meals, improved morning bowel rhythm for some people, and a gradual sense of improved digestion and energy over weeks. Caution: if you have gallstones or a blocked bile duct, or if you take cholagogues or strong diuretics, consult your clinician before using dandelion. It can increase bile flow. Dandelion also interacts with some diuretics and lithium. Suggested frequency and rotation: 2 to 4 times per week. Rotate with other teas to avoid continuous use. Putting this into practice: rotation, timing, and lifestyle context. These teas are tools, not replacements for medical care or a healthy lifestyle. Here's how I advise patients to use them safely and effectively. Pick 1 or 2 teas to start. Choose based on your dominant symptom. If inflammation and morning stiffness are the problem, start with turmeric nights. If nocturnal bloating or high blood pressure is the main issue, try hibiscus earlier in the evening. If digestion is the challenge, ginger plus lemon or dandelion may be better targets. Rotate through the week. Don't use any single potent herb nightly for months without breaks. A practical pattern: choose 1-2 teas as your core, for example, turmeric and cinnamon. Rotate to a different tea every other night or every few nights. Use diuretic herbs, hibiscus, horsetail, dandelion leaf, earlier in the evening, and limit them to 2 to 4 nights per week unless your clinician advises otherwise. Limit horsetail to short courses, 3 to 5 nights, or intermittent use due to its potency. Timing rules that protect sleep and efficacy. For diuretic herbs, hibiscus, horsetail, dandelion leaf, drink at least 1.52 hours before bedtime to avoid nocturia. For herbs that aid sleep or lower cortisol, sage, turmeric with fat, 30 to 60 minutes before bed is ideal. For digestive aids, ginger plus lemon, dandelion root, take 30 to 90 minutes after dinner or about 60 minutes before bed. Avoid large meals within 2 to 3 hours of going to sleep. Nighttime fasting supports natural lipolysis and liver repair. Lifestyle foundations that matter as much as any tea, protein and fiber at dinner, include lean protein and fiber to blunt late glycemic spikes. Avoid refined sugars and processed carbs in the evening. These worsen insulin signaling and visceral fat. Stay hydrated through the day. Mild dehydration can increase hunger and slow metabolism. Add resistance training or brisk walking into your weekly routine. Muscle mass is a major driver of metabolic health. Prioritize sleep quality. Poor sleep promotes visceral fat accumulation through hormonal disruption. Realistic expectations. What changes you'll actually notice. Teas can support the metabolic environment that allows your body to shift fat distribution over time, but they are not magic. Expect these non-scale improvements first. Less evening bloating and lighter mornings. Reduced joint stiffness and less nighttime discomfort. Improved sleep onset or less nighttime restlessness. More consistent morning blood sugars for some people. Scale and waistline changes typically require weeks to months of consistent lifestyle work, combined with supportive measures like these teas. That slow, steady approach is safer and more sustainable, especially for older adults. Safety and drug interactions, essential checks. I need to be explicit about medication and condition interactions. Do not start regular use of any of these herbs without checking with your clinician if you are on prescription medications. Key interaction points: anticoagulants, warfarin, apixaban, rivaroxaban, dabigatran. Turmeric and high-dose ginger can increase bleeding risk. Discuss with your doctor. Antihypertensives. Hibiscus and sage can lower blood pressure and may add to the effect of medications. Monitor blood pressure closely. Diuretics and potassium-affecting drugs. Horsetail and dandelion can alter fluid and electrolyte balance. If you take loop diuretics, thiazides, or potassium-sparing diuretics, consult your clinician. Diabetes medications. Cinnamon and turmeric can enhance insulin sensitivity and glucose lowering. Monitor for hypoglycemia and communicate with your prescriber before making routine use. Digoxin. Any herbs that alter potassium, diuretics, horsetail, dandelion, can affect digoxin's safety profile. Discuss with your cardiologist or primary care physician. Kidney or liver disease. If you have significant renal impairment or advanced liver disease, avoid potent diuretics and cholagogues without specialist guidance. Never stop or change prescription medication dosing on your own. These herbal drinks are adjuncts and must be integrated into your overall care plan. Practical weekly plan example. Here's a simple practical rotation I use with older patients who have a mixture of concerns: visceral fat, mild hypertension, and digestive bloating, assuming no contraindicating medications. Monday, turmeric plus black pepper, anti-inflammatory. Tuesday, hibiscus, earlier evening for blood pressure and mild diuresis. Wednesday, sage, calming sleep support. Thursday, ginger plus lemon, digestive prokinetic after dinner. Friday, cinnamon, Ceylon stick for insulin support. Saturday, dandelion root, liver support after a heavier meal. Sunday, horsetail for a short course of 3 nights only if fluid retention is a problem. Otherwise, rest adjust according to your medications, symptoms, and tolerance. Keep a symptom log for 4 to 6 weeks. Note sleep quality. bloating, morning stiffness, energy, and any changes in blood pressure or glucose readings if you monitor them. Frequently asked concerns I hear in clinic. Will these teas make me lose belly fat overnight? No. They support metabolic pathways and nighttime repair that can, over time and combined with diet, movement and good sleep, help the body reduce visceral fat. Expect small functional wins first. Is it safe to take all of them together? I don't recommend taking multiple strong herbs at once, especially diuretics and cholagogues. Use one tea at a time so you can monitor effects and side effects. What if a tea gives me heartburn or worse symptoms? Stop it and try a different one. Ginger plus lemon can worsen reflux in some people. In that case, prefer sage or cinnamon. Can I drink these if I'm on blood thinners? Not without consulting your prescribing physician. Turmeric and high doses of ginger can increase bleeding risk when combined with anticoagulants. Final medical caveat and how I counsel patients. These drinks are adjunctive supports. They can help the liver clean up, reduce inflammation, improve digestion and balance hormones when used correctly, but they are not substitutes for medical treatment of diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, or significant liver or kidney disorders. If you take prescription medications, have heart failure, advanced kidney disease, liver disease, or are pregnant, talk with your clinician before starting any new herbal regimen. Closing. Where to start tonight? If you want a practical first step tonight, choose the tea that addresses your most bothersome symptom. For inflammation and morning stiffness, start with turmeric plus black pepper with a small amount of fat, 40 to 60 minutes before bed. For bloating and blood pressure, try hibiscus earlier in the evening. Keep a simple rotation, hydrate during the day, avoid a heavy late meal, and add movement during the week. Watch for non-scale improvements first, better sleep, reduced bloating, less stiffness. And please check with your clinician if you are on any of the medications we discussed. Comment below which of these teas you'll try first and why. If you're on medications, tell your physician you're considering an herbal night drink and bring them this list of cautions. Subscribe for more science-backed strategies for aging well and metabolic health. Remember, these teas are allies, not replacements for medical care. Use them thoughtfully, rotate them, and consult your clinician when in doubt.